members of the Just Friends and invitees, panelists, a disclaimer. I am not here to teach you anything. I am here to share some thoughts with you that many of you are more aware of than myself. It's just to remind you and to challenge ourselves to do something about it. Beyond 2023 elections, that Nigeria may be safe. Nigeria as a national entity is on the verge of collapse. If our chairman cannot be here because of fuel, and I live near the airport, and on my way from the airport today, you could see at 8:30 a.m. there was no traffic. Why? Because most of the vehicles were queuing for fuel. Normally, the road is blocked at that time, especially as you head towards the gate. But there was, the time I called you, I passed by the gate as if I was going to the airport at this time. There was no traffic. But when you look to the left or to the right, you see all the vehicles queuing for fuel. All the indices of state failure are in place. There is an unprecedented level of impunity and a never-before witnessed orgy of violence across the land. I'm going to talk more about impunity. Right now we are speaking about a student who tweeted and then is locked up without due process. That's serious. The level of impunity is serious. Criminal gangs are holding. The IG has been convicted to jail. He is still walking around. That's impunity. The Inspector General of Police has been committed to jail, convicted to go to jail. Now, in a sane society, from that point, they go for him. Because the police are not supposed to be serving the IG. The police are serving Nigeria and the Constitution. But 3 days, 4 days after, nothing has happened. And he is guilty of the same offense as Mr. Ofiong, the human rights lawyer, who was accused of the contempt of court and was immediately taken to the prison, and he spent 1 month in prison. Exactly the same offense, contempt of court. This is impunity. Criminal gangs are holding swaths of the Nigerian territory, bombing state infrastructure, collecting taxes, kidnapping travelers for ransom, sacking whole villages, burning down police stations and INEC infrastructure, dislodging soldiers from their military outposts, abducting school children, transforming some of these school children into child soldiers and others into sex slaves, carrying out mass executions and sending periodic threats to the federal government. While working on this, the violinist I have in my church was kidnapped, and we had to look for, do you know a violinist, Emeka? He was kidnapped, and we had to look for 2 million to save them, because there were 14 people in the bus, and the entire passengers were kidnapped, and they were asked to bring 5 million. Thank God that after 2 million, he was released. In the face of these brazen attacks that are equivalent to an open declaration of war, the government in place appears either utterly incapable or inexplicably unwilling to perform the primary duty of government, namely to protect the lives and property of Nigerians, to such an extent that many Nigerians in exasperation now wonder if high-level agents of government are not actually complicit in the genocidal war against innocent Nigerians. Indeed, many are beginning to believe that there are treasonous persons within government structure who have resolved to destroy the Nigerian state in the manner that we are witnessing today. Election cycle after election cycle, Nigerians have kept on rearranging chairs in a Titanic that is drowning. The state is failing, and failing terribly at an alarming rate. Nigerians have seen their lives devalued and their rights diminished on every count. Rural farming communities are being devastated massively and rapidly on account of the massive menace of bandits and killer herdsmen that have taken over territories which used to be referred to as the food basket of the nation. Many of the farming communities in Benue, Plateau, Zamfara, Kaduna, Katsina, Adamawa, Taraba, and Borno states have become killing fields from which everyone is fleeing for their lives. The situation has been further worsened in recent times by the floods that swept through most of the states of the country, killing hundreds of people and destroying livelihoods, including cultivated farmlands. Our well-educated, highly skilled, and most brilliant and most promising young professionals, including doctors and other medical professionals, IT specialists, engineers of all categories, as well as our most qualified professors, are fleeing the country in droves, begging to be allowed into not only the UK or the US and South Africa, but also begging to be allowed into Rwanda and Kenya and even Ghana, that is suffering the same kind of thing as ourselves, because people believe that they are still better. As they see no future for themselves and their children in Nigeria, some of our less educated but ambitious young people are daily perishing while attempting to cross the treacherous Sahara Desert or Mediterranean Sea towards some form of slave labor or sex trafficking in Europe and in our Arab countries. Among the others who are not able to escape the madhouse which our country unfortunately is becoming, some have felt pushed into crime, engaging in the infamous Yahoo Yahoo and Yahoo Plus business, or they are resorting to the now profitable enterprise of kidnapping for ransom, or the shocking and disgusting or nauseating business of killing and harvesting vital human parts, allegedly for money. Perhaps worth mentioning here are also those young people across the country who have been so traumatized and so diminished by the acrimonious Nigerian circumstances that having given up on the idea of their lives having any meaning at all, they now waste whatever is left of their lives in all shades of drugs and narcotics. Now, with regards to the ravages of corruption, it is indeed most lamentable that while the generality of Nigerians are groaning under the weight of the ever-worsening economic fortunes to which the government of the day has no answers, and while the National Bureau of Statistics announces that 133 million, that's about 63% of the Nigerian population, have now slipped into absolute poverty, the sensibilities of the Nigerian people are insulted by what has become a string of daily revelations of monumental corruption and reckless looting of state resources. There is no day that we do not hear revelations of monumental corruption, to the tune of hundreds of billions of naira, involving high-ranking officials of a government that rose to power on the back of an aggressive anti-corruption propaganda. As the government is daily borrowing money from foreign creditors, expending over 90% of its earnings on debt servicing, and ensuring that generations and generations yet unborn will be carrying the burden